Hello, my name is Paul Hubbold, and I'm going to be doing this. So first I'm going to do add swap right and left click toggle to options menu. Description: in the options menu, add a button to toggle the right and left mouse buttons. So right click uses right arm and left click uses left arm. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do this. So right now, right click, left click. And then when I go to the options, click that. Right click and left click, left click. Um, Next, civilian detection. Make the indicator more passive. When civilians detect the player, the detection indicator is white. When the civilian detects combat and is fleeing, the detection indicator turns red. So I'm going to go to this level. All the indicators are white.
What was
When they
that?
detect bodies, it turns red. Bug. Civilians have a hard time detecting player. Civilians don't often detect the player properly. Civilians should detect players as enemies do. Once the player is detected, shadow kill should not work on the detecting civilian. Shadow kill should not work on a civilian staring at the player. So,
What was that?
worked on that guy because he wasn't looking at me. It's not working on these guys. Upgrade screen. Remove the free and deactivate buttons. For the game, the abilities will be locked until the player chooses to unlock them. Remove the free and deactivate buttons. Expand the ability buttons to acquire the abilities. Here's the upgrade button. There's just the ability buttons there. There's not the extra buttons. Debugging. Let me just turn that down. Optimize agility ability. The run speed and jump height need to be optimized to fit the rest of the game. Alright, so.
What was there you are?
Ow!
What was that?
So, this is run speed.
What was that?
This is jump height.
What was that?
Run speed needs to be nerfed to feel more natural. Jump height needs to be nerfed to feel slightly more natural. Needs to add fall damage reduction. So, first off, I'm going to test the fall damage reduction. I'm going to blink upwards, move forward just a... Should probably save.
What was that? What was that?
Pick that
What
up.
was that?
Pick that up. See if I can save here. See if that'll work. So, I'm going to blink straight up, move forward. So rude. This, I almost die completely. However, when I activate agility, I don't die. I have plenty of health. And my run speed is only slightly faster. My jump height
What was that?
is slightly
What
higher,
was
but it
that?
allows me to jump on these blocks. And also, I have double jump. Guards and doors. Guards can't open doors. Intended effect: when an enemy approaches a door, it will open. Actual effect: when an enemy approaches a door, it will not open. Severity: major. So, let's make guards open doors.
There you are. There you are. There you are.
Stop it! Let's try that again, shall we?
What was that? What was that? What was that?
Let's go ahead and open the door there.
There you are. There you are.
I did not open the door. Stop it! You open the door. There you go. Take my word for it. The guards were opening the door. Possess ability doesn't always possess. If the player tries to possess but turns away really quick, it will blink to the target but not possess. For this, I'm going to go ahead and go to... Nope. I'm going to go to the base level. If the player isn't looking at the target, do not blink without possessing. Blocking the target to a certain extent so the player doesn't have to look directly at the target, a bit of leeway. So, possession. If I turn away really quick, I still possess. Still possess the intended target. Bug, possession while leaning. If possession is used while leaning, the camera is stuck in leaning position when unpossessed. Expectation on unpossessed, player is not leaning and camera is normal. So let me just grab one of these real quick, fill my mana, and leaning, possessed. Leaning, possessed. There we go. Oop, wrong button. Nope. And there you go. Swimming. Space to swim up. While swimming, the player should be able to swim directly up by pressing and holding space. Water. Underneath. Space.
What was that?
Straight up, please. While swimming, the player should be able to use some abilities such as Blink. While swimming, can use Blink, Possession, Slow Time, and Dark Vision. While swimming, Blink, Dark Vision, Slow Time, and lastly, Possession. Wall of Light barrier glow during Dark Vision. The barrier that kills the player on the Wall of Light should glow with the Wall of Light while in Dark Vision. It's a little bit wonky. So, as you can see, that's glowing. Might be a little wonky actually. Bug. Enemy held item disappears when shadow killed or wall of lighted. When the enemy actor is destroyed via shadow kill or wall of light, the item they hold is also destroyed. Spawn the item they're holding when shadow killed or wall of lighted. The item in question is that pouch right there, pickpocketed. So, shadow kill, there's the pouch. And if I pickpocket before, it's not there. Now let's test it on the wall of light.
What was there you are?
There it is. And when I pickpocket,
There you are.
hey, that hurts! Not that. That's fine. bug. Wall of light bugs out from Anubis spot. Many errors are displayed when Anubis spot walks through a wall of light. Add detection to the wall of light to detect Anubis spot properly. It does not destroy, but does kill Anubis spot if rewired. For that, I'm going to have to go over to another level that I am actually rather unfamiliar with, unfortunately. All of these. Rude. Ooh, that was not fun. I should have definitely prepared for this.
There you are. Where did you go? There you are.
Hey, that hurts!
What was there?
That
You
hurts! This is a difficult.
What was there? You are.
Ow!
There you are. Where did you go? There you are.
You guys. There we go. So it dies from the wall of light. There you go. And that is all. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Hello, my name is Trevor Babcock with Team Dishonored, and we are going to fire up the build for this milestone. Now, the first thing that I'm going to show off is this bug right here, damage. Enemies can't hit and damage the player while they are crouched. And we have an intended effect. When the player crouches, enemies and rats should be able to damage the player when attacking. And actual effect when the player crouched, enemies and rats didn't deal damage to the player. So we're going to look at that in new game here. Load up. We're going to walk over to an enemy and get his attention.
There you are.
Stop it.
And give him a few swings. And yeah.
Stop it.
So we can tell he is back damaging us. And then rats, we're going to get the attention of the rats over here. Get all of their attentions. And crouch down.
Stop it. So rude.
Alright, so they are damaging us also while crouched. Now the next bug was crouch leaning. When crouched and then leaning, the camera sinks lower than it should. Intended effect, when the player crouches and then presses one of the buttons to lean, they will maintain their crouch status, but lean based on which button they pressed. So I'm going to show that off real quick. We're going to crouch and then lean. So we stay crouched, we stay in our regular crouch state. We're just leaning back and forth, just like if we were standing. And so that is all good. The next bug has to do with the quick save. So different map quick save. After dying, the quick save from a different map should not be loaded. And intended effect, after dying, pressing the resume from last save button, the player should load the last quick save from that map or from the start of the level. Okay, So we've already got a quick save, but let's just double check. Yep. So in the bottom right shows that we have a quick save. And now if we go over here and we die, now we have resumed from last save. So what this should do is take us to where we were when we saw those cogs. And it in fact does. So it is all working. Now to test this, we're going to go to a different map entirely. And now we're going to die. And we get the resume from last save. Now we have no quick saves on this level, so what this should do is just restart us. Okay, and it has. But now we have a quick save here, and so if we die now, it loads us properly at the quick save point. Alright, now we have an improvement. So load display. The load slots should change appearance to reflect the current save data associated. So when no data is saved, load slots in the load screen are grayed out and not interactable. And then when data is saved, the associated load slot isn't grayed out and interactable and displays the name of the save. So look at that real quick. So currently we have one name save, and none of these actually have save data, however, so they are not interactable, they're grayed out, I can't click them. So if we try to get a save right here, we can open this up, save game, so we can rename this slot to something else like test save, and we actually have to click it to save. And the cogs disappeared. We can look at the load game. So there is now one slot that is interactable, not grayed out, and we have the name here. So we can click to load, or we can click to delete. And this actually works if we go over here. And now we're back at this load. And we can also just keep renaming it. And shows up and shows up in the main menu as well. And we can delete that, and as soon as we delete it, we are no longer able to click here. It keeps the name of the save slot, but it no longer has any save data, so we can't interact with it. And the final thing that I'm going to show off is the story that I worked on for this sprint. It is the end mission screen. As the player, I want to get a recap of how I performed within the mission that was just finished, so I know how my actions have impacted things. And we only have one completion criteria of displaying information, but we're displaying the name, how many hostiles we killed, civilians killed, if any bodies were found, and then a few check marks. All of this is going off of reference in Dishonored, and it's all going off of this image right here. And so we're going to take a look at that. Now I'm quickly going to go through this level here and just show off some basic things and try to get to the end screen. Hopefully a few of those numbers are filled in and checkboxes are unchecked, but we're gonna kill a few enemies, collect some gold. Collect some more gold. Get through here.
There you are.
Kill another enemy. We'll actually just throw him over there. But at some point he'll get his body spotted. while we still do things. And we were detected, so I'm hoping that the ghost is unchecked. He's dead. Collect some more. And I'm gonna go the unintentional route here and go up and over, just so we can get through this quickly. And we finished. So it shows that we're in the barracks exterior level. Mission stats here, we have hostiles killed. We killed 5 enemies. Civilians killed. There were no civilians, so we didn't get any dead or unconscious bodies found. So it looks like that one body was either spotted multiple times or there's something else that we missed. But we did want a body to be found, so that's all right. Didn't kill anyone, we did, so this is unchecked. And never detected, we were, so this is also unchecked. There are no runes in this level, and so I didn't find any. There are 22 coins in this level though, and I only grabbed 4. And from the screen you can click replay mission or continue. Now this is the last of the levels, so clicking continue right now does nothing, but if you click replay mission, this will work, and clicking continue on any other level will take you to the next level in sequential order based on the level select screen. So that has been everything I worked on this week. Thank you very much for watching.
Hello, this is Liam Crowley with my section of the Milestone 5 Sprint Review, first one of this class. So let's get right into it. So first of all, opening up the project, this is our latest build that I just got a while ago. And let's start with the tasks. Got 8 hours and 20 minutes total worked. So to start off, enemy alert will appear while dead and unconscious. Description: when an enemy dies or is knocked out, their alert status will be updated by a throwable. At least, potentially other things. Once an enemy dies, they should not have an indicator above their head in any circumstances. So, let's hop into new game, testing zone. First, let's show what we're talking about.
What was that?
Both these guys have an alert indicator. I'm just going to reset this real quick so that I don't have to worry about juggling their aggro while doing this. We'll come over here. So you saw those white lightning bolts, those are the alert indicator. Come up here and knock this guy out. If you see, we can throw right here.
What was that?
It aggroes that guy, but it doesn't aggro that guy. So that guy's knocked out. Let's get a dead one. Same thing, you can hear someone else reacting to it, but not this guy. The guy that was reacting to it is over on this side of the wall, just to confirm that it's a different guy. See, that was the dude that was reacting. So yeah, that is working as intended. Back to main menu. This one we're done with. Thrown items carrying. Observed. Object is held very high in camera and blocks most of the player's view, also not centered. Intended, the object is held far enough away to be seen, but with minimal obstruction. Crosshair still appears in position where the hand is, so it looks like it is held. So then we're going to hop back in. Initially, what would happen is the object would hover in the middle of the screen right where I'm looking. Basically, you'd see that, except while you're holding it, it would stay with you, since it lerped to the camera's position with a slight offset forward of it. But now you can see it's sitting over here. If I pick up another one, it always goes to that same spot. And we'll hop out. So yeah, intended, object is held far enough away to be seen, but with minimal obstruction. Check. Crosshair still appears. Let's go confirm that one. Crosshair, we've still got it. And appears in a position near where the hand is, so it looks like it is held. That's all working perfectly. So, throwable items snapping when picked up. Throwable items fly to the player, but then snap to a position slightly lower in a fixed upright position. Requested there should be no snapping and the animation should be completely smooth. So what was happening is it would fly to the player's hand and then knock itself down just a little bit afterwards. And you can see that very slightly happens, but the end of the animation is sped up so that it's less noticeable than before. And that's a good working solution. Before, it would come to a stop and then knock down after a split second. So this is a big improvement and fixes that issue in a slightly roundabout way. Okay, so particles should spawn when thrown items break. It's hard to distinguish between throwing items just getting destroyed from them flying through objects from ignoring collision. Should spawn particles. So before there was some issues with thrown objects flying straight through things, so it's important for us to have this clarification. But as you can see, let's get that, and you see the broken glass and colors scattering, and just a few of them to indicate that they're actually broken. As they're working textures, it's kind of messy right now, but it works and the player knows that this object is broken. And finally, bottles and enemies. An enemy should respawn after recovering from being stunned. Intended effect: after throwing a bottle or another enemy at an enemy and stunning them, the enemy should look towards the direction they were stunned from. After being actual effect: after being stunned outside of combat, an enemy will resume patrolling and won't respond to the action. So what happens now is the enemy... Oh, yep, I did not kill these guys. So it's going to alert this one, so we're actually going to drop this real quick and knock this guy out so that I don't have to deal with that and it's easier to see. But if I throw this guy, they search to where it lands, not to where I throw it. That's a poor example. But if I stun him, that stuns him, and he should lose me. He might actually remember that. Okay, so yeah, then he runs to that location from where I threw it. And afterwards, then he'll patrol back to his default point.
Must have been the wind.
Which for some reason seems to be over there. But yeah, so normally they'll go somewhere else that's not me throwing it. So when they're stunned, they'll actually take a higher sense of urgency and hunt after it.
Alright, hello, my name is James Klingon, and I'm doing Milestone 5 review. So let's go ahead and open up the build and get the build going. Alright, so look at the bugs and stuff we have. So first up is DIH234, which is a bug. The player rapidly crouches and uncrouches after his stealth knockout. I don't have any video footage of this, but I'm gonna show you the new and improved version. So normally, when you combine swings to knock him out, and after you knock him out, if you hold a button down, like I'm holding the button down right now, the player would crouch and uncrouch until you let go of the button, and I just let go of the button. That has been fixed, and I'll demonstrate again on this enemy. Alright. So the player should crouch again after they stealth kill enemy. That has been met. Jump over to DIH247 because it also has to do with knocking out. So the issue was once I've knocked the enemy out, a prompt would come back up to knock him out again, even though they're already knocked out. So that has been fixed. I don't have any footage of that, but I will show you. I will knock these two enemies out real fast. So before, if you knock an enemy out and you come up to them, if you angle yourself correctly, is about right here, a prompt will come up to knock him out again. This has been fixed. You no longer get the bar to knock enemy out if they are knocked out or dead, so yep. Once the enemy is knocked out, you cannot knock him out again, and so it has been fixed. We're gonna move to DIH241, which is the bug. Enemy can move while being stealth knocked out. So what was happening is enemy can walk away while being in the process of being knocked out. And so that has been fixed to where while the button is held down, you can no longer stealth knock out an enemy that is... Or the enemy can no longer move while they're being stealth knocked out, but as soon as you let go of the button, you can knock him out again. And yep. So if enemy is moving, you can go knock him out, they stop moving. Just as I just demonstrated here. So intention, the enemy can't move away knocked out. So it has been completed. Jump to DH244, which is an improvement. Sprint speed was deemed too fast, which it was. So I balanced it out to where originally sprint speed was plus 75% of run speed, so you run 75% faster. Has been lowered to 40% run speed. So sprint speed has been reduced. So this improvement right here, the player was able to sprint backwards. So that has been fixed. The player can no longer sprint backwards. It seemed like a really weird thing to do. So if you look in a debug on the top right, or top left, when I'm sprinting, it says I'm sprinting. When I'm not sprinting, it says not sprinting. So if I press S and shift for sprint, it's telling me I'm not sprinting, so I can no longer sprint backwards. Alright, so move on to the next one. Okay, bug, the player can, this is DIH255. Bug, the player can resurrect enemies into unconscious state. So if the player shoots a dead enemy with a sleep dart or stealth knocks them out, the enemy will enter in the unconscious state rather than the dead state. If the enemy is dead, the player cannot perform a stealth knock on them, and sleep darts do not affect their state. So we're gonna get some health mana real fast and pick up some of these arrows. So I'm gonna stealth knock out the first enemy and kill the second enemy. So they're knocked out, they're unconscious.
What was that? There you are.
That hurt.
And this enemy is dead. So the bug was if you shot an enemy with a sleep dart while they were dead or unconscious, they'll come back to life. So this enemy was dead. And I shot him with a sleep dart, he is still dead. This enemy right here is unconscious. If I shoot him, he is still unconscious. And so the enemy is not coming back to life. So move on to the next bug, which is DIH266, which is stealth kill sometimes doesn't work if the player isn't close enough. So stealth kill wasn't working if the player wasn't close enough or too close. That has been fixed. So if you're really close, you can stealth kill enemies. Or if you're still inside the range of the sword swing, if it hits an enemy, they will get stealth killed now. So this issue has been fixed. Okay, move on to the next bug, which is DIH267. Bug, player can drop attack through objects. So this was a bug that happens when you go to drop attack an enemy. It's like this thing right here. If I was behind this object, I can still drop attack them through the object. So right now, it only works if you can physically see the enemy. And no longer does it through objects. So this bug has been fixed. And okay, the last one, DIH272, which is a bug. The player will sprint after letting go of the sprint button after sliding. So I don't have gameplay of this either, but so the issue was when the player was sprinting and you press crouch. When you press crouch, you will slide, and you'll go into crouch. The problem was when you did that and you held down the sprint button through the whole thing and uncrouched, you would have permanent sprints. So you can sprint without having the button held down. So this just fixes the issue. So I no longer have unlimited sprint after sliding and uncrouching. Alright, and this is all of my task, which is pretty much bugs and improvements done for this sprint. So thank you for watching, and I'll pass it on to the next person.
Hello, my name is Demetrius Reed, and for this video I'll be talking about what I completed for Sprint 5. Update enemy paths in city level. And basically I just have to update the enemy pathing in the city level since it was made before the update.
What was that?
Add rune pickups in city and temple level. And just gotta add runes because the runes are used for upgrading, and we're gonna turn on the level up system.
There you are. What was that?
Allow the scroll wheel to quickly change abilities. Basically, use the scroll wheel to quickly select an ability. Blink is able to be used more than once. And, you know, the bug is that you can use it indefinitely, but It's supposed to only be able to be used once until you land on the floor. Tower is unable to see and attack the Anubis bot, because currently the tower cannot detect it since the tower was made before it, and it's supposed to be able to detect it, and if it's rewired, it should be able to shoot at the Anubis bot. Able to hear every Anubis bot's movement in the level, because currently in a level you can hear every single one of them, and it's supposed to only be able to hear them if they're even close to you. Interact with the Anubis bot shows before you're actually able to rewire it. So currently, it says you can interact with it, but you actually can't until you get closer, and it's supposed to allow you to interact with it if that thing pops up.
Ow!
There you are.
Hey, that hurts. Stop it. Ow!
And that is all. Thank you for watching.